In the legal world, there is a combination of forces that feed a corrupt and suffocating legal system for attorneys. Law schools, law professionals, judges, and even the firms themselves for whom you work create a system, a matrix, if you will, that is nothing like what you thought when you passed the bar exam. The purpose of this podcast is to help you escape this legal matrix, leading you out of the proverbial desert to be free of the bondage of the matrix. Hosted by Bryce D. Nyer, attorney at law with over 30 years experience in the trenches of civil and criminal litigation at the state, federal, and international levels. He's a highly accomplished and resourceful legal professional, a true master of his craft, and he's here to help you get your life back. Here's your host, Bryce D. Nyer.
All right. This is Bryce D. Nyer coming at you live from Fayetteville, North Carolina, home of Fort Bragg. What a last half an hour I've had trying to get this Rode podcaster stuff squared away, hooking up to the computer. And we had some technical glitches. So that's going to be the topic tonight, technical glitches. Yeah, because in your life, Murphy's Law is going to apply. If you don't know what Murphy's Law is like, hey, when it can go wrong, it will go wrong. And for tonight, I'm like, hey, updated software, and it did not worky. I'm like, what is going on here? What's going on? And for the last couple weeks, I've been in quite a bit of litigation, hearings, things like that. And glitches have come up in a lot of things. And it about drove me crazy, made my head explode, made me want to cut my wrist with a pencil eraser, and made me want to get a bunch of Mai Tais, sit on a beach, and watch the Dolphins play, and just like do nothing. But I didn't do that. So it's something that you law students and you young lawyers, you need to be aware of, and you need to know how to deal with it. Glitches are going to come up, and they're going to drive you crazy, and they're going to come up in your personal, and they're going to come up in your professional life. And what sort of glitches are we talking about? So I remember when we first originally started the Escape the Legal podcast, Escape the Legal Matrix, Escape the Legal Mind. Yeah, that's a good one. It's kind of really where it's at. But anyway, getting back on topic here about technical glitches, you've got these four domains of body, of being, of balance, and business, and glitches will come up all of the time. So let me give you an example of glitches. So in body, there was one time I was working out. I was on this business trip. It was in Vegas, and I did not use the right form on the machine in the gym. And it was kind of cool machines. I've never seen these kind before. And I did it. And guess what happened? Yeah, I got injured big time. I forget what they call the muscles below the shoulder blade. It was on the right side, and I could barely move, and it hurt. And I had to go for treatment when I got back. And that was a glitch. What was a glitch? It was I did not perform the exercise properly. I glitched it. Then in being. So being's your relationship with God, or Christianity, God, and Jesus. And so you glitch when you sin. That's a glitch. That comes up a lot, by the way, like every day for us humans. But anyway, then we talk about balance. Okay. The glitch. Sometimes I've tried to, book the trips, get the hotels and stuff, and it didn't work out. Or I made a mistake booking something. Glitches came up, drives me crazy. Get to the resort and they're like, we don't have your reservation. I'm like, what do you mean on my reservation? And I'm like, oh. And then we have in business. Business is where, as a lawyer, and in most professions, you're going to have glitches. You're going to miss deadlines. You're going to miss certain things. You're going to make typographical errors. I mean, you're going to make mistakes because you get so busy and you get distracted that you're going to glitch something up. Now, it's not fun to glitch something up. And many times when I've glitched things up, I went on a guilt and shame trip, first class. And it's painful. There's nothing fun about making a mistake or making a glitch. But I'm here to tell you, law students and you lawyers, it's going to happen. And it's painful. It's painful to acknowledge it because your pride gets in the way and you don't want people to know. And eventually, people will find out. I mean, and sometimes you're going to look stupid. Sometimes you got to explain to your client, look, I made a mistake. And you can try and run from it, hide from it, but it's not necessarily always going to go away. And I can remember my life and recently, of trying to fix glitches that I created in my life. And it takes a lot of energy. And this is why you should really, in all honesty, fix the glitches before they become catastrophes. My battalion commander, one of them, used to tell me bad news does not get better with time when I was a commander. And that is true. When you know about bad news, if you just ignore it and let it go, your glitch turns into this tsunami, and it will just it'll just drown you in punishment. That's the best way I can say it. So you've got to look at your life, and you got to ask these better questions. Where in my life am I having glitches in body, in being, in balance, in business? And why is my fulfillment off track? And once you identify the glitches, then you have to take the corrective action. Now, this isn't really anything novel. It's not anything rocket science, but it's something that a lot of us, we fail to do. We fail to know how to deal with glitches. And I know there have been times and nights where I've lost sleep. I'm like, man, I really screwed this up. I really made a mistake. I feel stupid. I feel bad. How can this happen? And then I take a step back and I go work out at the gym, or I'm just chilling out. I'm walking on the treadmill for a while, or I'm at night where it's just totally quiet. And you can then sit there and you can think and look and say, that's where I made the mistake. That's where I made the glitch. There's a saying in the military when I was in, it says it's a family show. One aw shucks wipes out 100 attaboys. There's a different saying that says, but I'm trying not to say bad words on my podcast because I've been lectured about it before. And I shouldn't say bad words. But I think you get the message. I think you get the hint. And yeah, one glitch can wipe out, 100 attaboys because people just remember your mistakes. And regrettably, each one of us, we only remember our mistakes. We don't remember the positive things that we do. And I was reminded that last weekend when somebody said, hey, quit, being so down on yourself. Quit being, punishing yourself. Think of all the things that you have done right, all the things that you have accomplished, and have some gratitude for the blessings in your life. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Because I was like, yeah, I wasn't feeling the greatest about certain things. And it's painful. It's really, really painful. It's not always fun to admit it. So I want you to go and really just sit down and look at your life. Where are you today? What things have you glitched up recently or maybe today? And put them on a scale from 1 to 10. Maybe 10 is like, yeah, they're really important. I need to deal with it. Or maybe 1 is just not that important. It's a glitch. But it's not something that's going to grow into a tsunami. So I want you to think about that. Look at the glitches in your life, but don't forget to look at the things that you've done well and the things that you have accomplished and the great things that you've done for other people. I mean, that's important. All right. So we're going to keep this one short tonight. We just want to make sure we get this message out. Where are the glitches in your life? What are you doing to deal with them? Are you dealing with them constructively, or are you letting them grow out of proportion to where they ultimately become a tsunami and they just sweep you away in the sea and the waters of the abyss of insanity and chaos in the legal matrix, and then you're drowning like you're on the Titanic too. All right, this is Bryce Denier with our Labrador Retriever, Drake, who's in the house tonight. And this morning, I went to Biscuitville and got two of these, I guess they're apple cider muffins. I don't know. They're great. They're great. And I turned around for like 2 seconds. And all I heard was this scrapple, scarple. Scarfed it up and I was tearing the paper apart, and he just woofed it on down. I was not a happy camper. What was the glitch? A Labrador Retriever. They're always hungry. You can't turn your back on them. They will steal your food. All right, you got some homework. Where in your world are you having glitches, and what are you doing to correct them? And are you taking the right steps? And this is Bryce Denier and Drake, and we are out of here.